You know, I never heard of this place before. Wattles Mansion. I've been in Hollywood practically most of my life. I'm gonna have to see if I can walk on the other side of the mansion. It is a slight uphill that goes right up above it. You got trees and everything around it. And it's right in the middle of the neighborhood, right above Hollywood Boulevard off of Franklin. People can walk their dogs around here. There are a lot of trees above this. Unfortunately, a section that I wanted to walk up to, there was something that should not be on this video, unfortunately. I probably would have to climb up there. Luckily, there's a gate here. I'm not going to crawl up under there on this hot day. But I would have liked to take the very back of it down to the bottom of it. I probably could have got a better view of what it looks like. The Wattles Estate Mansion is supposed to be a farm and a park, and it once had a Japanese garden here. I think it's still here. I do see a garden down below. There is two ways of getting in here. I can see the gates are open. They open up at 12 noon each day. I think they close at 8 during the summer. The Wattles Estate is known as Juliata, named after his wife, because after he died, I guess she took care of the place somewhat. It was built in 1907 by Myron Hunt and Elmer Gray, the same architects, or whatever you would call them. I don't know back then. Probably the same thing. Who helped design the house, the same houses that designed the Rose Bowl, also the Huntington Mansion, and a few other homes or places that I can't think of right now. Waddle came from Nebraska. He was a wealthy person. He used to be head of the streetcar company in Omaha. Also, this place is called Mission Revival. It's a 2-story with a full basement. And it sits on 50 acres here. Back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, the Hollywood Heritage, a non-profit group, took over the area during the punk years, I guess they would say. They used to have parties and stuff like that, and a lot of other kind of things, but crime had gotten so bad in the 90s that the city of Los Angeles got them to move out, eviction notice, in 2008. So this place was really humming, but Los Angeles City felt that they didn't do a good job in keeping this place kept up, even though Hollywood Heritage claimed that they did nothing wrong and they was fixing things around here. At least this is my interpretation from what I saw on the website. Well, anyway, Waddle used to own a streetcar I don't know if he owned it, but it says he worked it, so I haven't really gotten to that part yet. But there was a union strike back in those days, and even though the union failed, he became in poor standing with the rest of the people, so he moved to Los Angeles. And that's how this place was built here. There is a lot of dirt here and gopher holes, and I heard there are snakes that come around in this area. This is like a driveway going up to the estate right here, and also another gated entrance. I came in from an entrance on the west. This is on the east gate, and I see that there's a garden here, but it doesn't look like it's open at all. Said this gate must remain closed. Listen for the click to make sure it is securely locked behind you. Yes. And of course it does not open. I don't know if this was part of the Japanese tea garden or not, but I heard it was burned down at one time. I really can't tell from here. I'm looking over a barbed wire fence. Here's some more of the garden. Here's the front of view of the mansion itself. The funny thing about this place is that it's right now it's peaceful and quiet. You can picnic here, but it's not that many green here, just a little bit. There are plenty of trash cans right there around, but it actually sits up into the hills. It nestles right into the hills, and they do have it fenced off pretty well. The only reason why I couldn't go up to the top is because I didn't want to walk past a certain thing. I had to say that again. I really don't want to talk about it. But some people like to lay out on the grass thinking no one else is around here. But I necessarily don't want to walk past it. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm here for other kind of reasons. And it just so happens that I found this Wattles mansion built at the same time that a lot of big homes were built by Elmer Gray, Myron Hunt, and Elmer Gray, and it's supposed to be one of the last architectural, I'm calling it beasts, of very, very wealthy, rich people in the Hollywood Hills area in LA period that they saved. I have seen maps of other estates, but I was looking in the wrong place. But this one just sits here all by itself. I don't know how long these other homes been around here, or what kind of problems they had if these homes were built when all that trouble in the 70s and 80s and 90s was going on. Especially the 90s, the high crime rate. But it sits here all by itself. They do make it a point to keep the dogs on the leash. And if you actually walked on these grounds, you can see why. There is one car here. I guess the office is open. I'm gonna check it out again. I'm taking a partial view through the glass of the inside of the house. They said the office hours is open today, but I really don't want to go to that point. This is good enough. So this is the hallway. You turn quickly to the right and that's the front. Well, it is very empty. The office doors, the bathroom's out of service. I tried the door, but I'm not going to try to jam it open. Anyway. That is Hollywood out that way. I wonder what it looked like back then. Probably nothing. Mostly nothing. Well, I didn't see no farm animals. Maybe there was some here before. And I don't believe the garden is open. That's for sure. Talk to you later, folks. This is Robin the Shaw. See you in my next video. Wattles Mansion. Mostly unheard of. Until now, hopefully. Okay. Well, I did drive up a little bit. And I saw a big opening. And there's more to it than I thought it should be. That's another park area. More cement fencing. A major fence behind the house. I believe this goes up into Runyon Canyon or something, but I heard about that place, but I didn't know this is how you get to it. So now I'm in back of part of the house, not totally, but it's gated, got a lock on it. But this is part of the grounds of the Wattles Mansion. Behind the mansion itself, it looked like there's a little orchard behind it. Over in the distance to the right. Here's some more brick pylons and pylons, Spanish style, sitting there in the brush. I'm going to attempt to walk this little paved trail. There's some Park Service people. Here's some more wooded areas. I don't know if that's part of the estate or not. But you can see the nice walkways. And the Italian cypress trees. A couple of benches here. go to the right side. There's some drains here. These are probably modern drains right here. Anyway. I'm going to start my walk up here. I'm not going to do the whole walk on video, but I'm going to take my time. Time out. Of course, I used to work for the phone company here on Sunset and Gower, not too far from here. This is just past the Grauman Chinese, a couple of miles. But I was working for the phone company back then from the 70s right through the 80s on up to 2012. And for some reason, it doesn't matter, I've never heard of this place or the trouble that it was going through, whether it was good or bad. But I'm walking these steps. Look at that, this place is so advanced, they had the benches carved into the walls. You can sit. All those are shrubs and branches. Any of this can come down. Mudslide, whatever. They did put some barriers up around some parts of it. And check out the pillars. You can see the rebar on top of each pillar, which tells me that this was some sort of covering all the way up the walkway that I'm walking. They got sprinklers here. Got a more better picture of the rebar and a seat. Oh boy, November 12, 1969. This is actually LA Skate 1 of the Can't Stop family. Dedicated to Aaron Seth Anderson. Don't really know who it is, probably have heard of him. Skate 1. There's some dead flowers there. Here's a broken down pillar. Tree branch uplifted it and just fell over. More walking place. Oh my goodness. This looks like the Japanese garden. Wow. And it's open. And they actually don't prevent you from walking in this. I'm actually stepping into it. See, they got the rocks on top of the, probably a Buddha head there. Here's probably knocked off. There's another statue. All this is a part of the estate of Wattles. So they're making this a trail. There's somebody way up at the top. And I guess the Japanese garden or the house or the tea house is right there. Third Eye Trail. And there's a Buddha in there. Home spot. Third Eye Trail. That's probably done afterwards, after the Wattles estate. And this is what I just walked through right here. As you can see, there are some plants in the designated areas. I'm just gonna walk a little ways up. I see someone coming out of the trailhead. So that means the trail actually goes up to Runyon Canyon. Now I don't know if that's a part of the original estate, but it doesn't look like it. It could have been. I think that's part of the Japanese tea house area. I'm just gonna walk part of the way up the trail. See, they got a little chain link going through some poles here. Oh, look at that. So these trails do lead up. There's a Japanese, look like another entrance. Somebody put some lounge chairs up here. Okay. There's someone's makeshift chairs. How very nice of them to put them there. So I'm gonna call this my apex point of turning back. Like I said, I just seen someone walk by themselves, but they're probably used to that. I'm gonna have to check out a map because I think beyond this point, probably I did see partial way on the map that the Runyon area is right next to it. But this is where I'm gonna end it. This part. This is Ramadan. So I'm in back to the Wattles house on the property still, and as you can see, it's all trees, branches, shrubs, and of course, you know it, mountain lions could run through here, as well as any other type of animal you can think of. But I'm just gonna do this a little bit, coming back down, then put it out this way, not close to my chest. Plus, I'm not used to doing these trails by myself, and that's why I'm not gonna do them now by myself. And especially at my age. Of course, if I was with a group, I probably would do this. Just walk just far enough for a day, come back down, see what's going on. But we are in the Japanese section, that part is true. I'm figuring that the farm animals was probably either that clearing that I walked by, or because people are resting with their dogs. I think this has something to do with the Japanese garden too, or the Japanese area. Of course, if I had a place like this, it would be pretty cool. I'm still trying to figure out what this is. It looked like it was a sprinkler system or something, and they made an animal out of it. I don't know if it's a little horse, pony. Look like a pony or whatever that is. I wasn't showing the right thing. I don't know if that was a pony, a horse, or a big old dog. Look more like a pony. So evidently the Third Eye Trail has been redone because they put rocks up there, makeshift. There are some people sitting up there. You can see the little gate around the property. Of course, this is where the entrance is. I guess there was a wall here, so I guess some people hiking there, but you really can't. Start my way back down. There's a little trail right there that I can walk. Man-made, of course, by hundreds of probably thousands of people walking the trail. And this is the field. I don't need to walk on it, but some people are resting here. I think people from miles around come here to rest because they know how peaceful and quiet it is. And then again, who cares? I knew about it for years. They probably said something about it and I didn't know what they were talking about. Another little tale about Wattles is that, of course, he came to Los Angeles, but he came to Los Angeles because he really, let me re-stress it, he really could not live there anymore because of what happened after the strike. There was some person that was supposed to be prosecuted for the crimes, but they let him go, and a whole bunch of other rich people, rich folks, wealthy people, all of them left Nebraska to seek their fame and fortune someplace else. California was probably one of the main places that they came to because no one really knows them anymore. There wasn't no social media back then except for the newspapers, or maybe they did. Maybe because they go away that everything is fine. And how many of those people have lost lots of money? Different speculations, such as Lowe, which the Huntington kind of took over. That's supposed to be a big resort by Lowe, where the trains went up there. It's supposed to be a big resort property above Lake Avenue, Pasadena. So a lot of people come to California either to get away from their mistakes or to try to do something better than what they've been doing. Some of them did well, some of them not so well, and some of them are just living their life, not worrying about anybody else. Well, here's a legitimate step to the field. I can walk in the field a little bit, I guess, under the shaded tree. There's the walkway right there, the bench. And so I'm walking. I'm calling this the field of once was dreams. The field of dreams. The field of dreams is not no more. At least this field is. The LA city is taking over, trying to keep the best. Look like they're doing a pretty job, considering, it's probably taxpayer money. Hollywood is part of Los Angeles. It's not its own city. A lot of people think Hollywood, California is a city by itself, but it's not that I know of. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna walk this way. I don't want the little friendly dog to come at me. You can have that, baby. Oh. And yes, this is what I really do. If I can find something, I would say something. If I find something, I will do something. And I found something. And regardless of what anyone else say, I'm very pleased. I'm definitely not going to walk up there, but I'll do a partial walk up here. Where there was once a wall. This looked like a little power thing here. I don't know if it still works or not. That's where the wall ended there. This is going up into the hills. I still got to watch out for animals or snakes. I still can't see all of the property because it got big trees. If these big trees wasn't here, I could really look at the back of the property as it is, almost like Hearst Castle. Somebody must live there. I can see a fence. There are homes up on these hills. Now I'm on top of the retaining wall. And you can walk way up there. Nothing but a trail, branches of trees poked out, pieces of the estate, bricks. This part is torn down. There are the pillars off there with the roll bar. And yes, I'm still watching for rattlesnakes. If you live in California, you know that there's rattlesnakes everywhere. Gopher holes and rattlesnakes. Squirrels. And any other big animals, bears, mountain lion, maybe some bobcats. I hope you enjoy this little long video of Wattles Mansion. The legend that is kept quiet. That's what I say. It's kept quiet because hardly nobody knows about it here. But the people who live here, and some of them don't even know that. So they are keeping people out of this area. I'm going back to the main gate. And I'm gonna end this video right here. Park closed. Yep, the park closed 10:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. No smoking. Talk to you later, folks.